Today, Vance and Rubio sit down with Denmark. Trump's message is already clear. Greenland is coming under American control. The meeting in Washington today is no polite tea. Danish Foreign Ministers Lars, Løkke, Rasmussen and Greenland's equivalent will face Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio head-on as President Trump escalates his push to acquire the massive Arctic territory one way or the other. Trump dismissed Greenland's prime minister as having a big problem after the latest rejection of U.S. sovereignty claims, a blunt signal that diplomacy has limits when national security is at stake. The Arctic is no longer a frozen backwater. Ice melts open new shipping lanes worth trillions in trade. Rare earth minerals, oil, gas, strategic metals critical for weapons tech and energy independence all sit right there. Russia has the world's largest icebreaker fleet and militarized bases across the region. China declares itself a near-Arctic state and pours billions into polar infrastructure and eyes the resources to fuel its global ambitions. They're not waiting for invitations, they're moving aggressively. And Denmark, with a population smaller than many U.S. states and defense spending that barely registers, has coasted on American protection for generations. Their sovereignty claims sound noble until you factor in reality. They cannot defend the territory against real threats. NATO's northern flank is vulnerable, and letting Greenland remain lightly guarded is handing rivals the high ground in the next great power contest. Trump's position is pure America first, secure the frontier before adversaries do. Analysts peg the full purchase at up to $700 billion, a steep price, but one that buys missile defense dominance, resource control, and strategic leverage that pays dividends for decades. The administration is already in talks with U.S. energy and mining giants to flood the area with investments the moment the control shifts. Nordic officials are pushing back hard, stressing unity and sovereignty. Vance-Rubio meeting will test how far Denmark is willing to go. Negotiate a fair deal that respects their concerns while advancing U.S. priorities, or force the United States to consider every option on the table. Either way, the Arctic map is changing, and it's happening because America has a president who puts strength over sentiment. The clock is running. Russia and China aren't pausing. Neither should we. Secure the high ground or lose the century. I'm Graham. That's the dispatch. See you at 1.